Good day for everyone. I am Captain Inyaso from number 1700 Military Hospital, PME. I am second year doctorate student of respiratory medicine department. Today, I would like to discuss about the topic of interstitial lung disease in the era of COVID-19. Interstitial lung disease is a heterogeneous group of acute and chronic lung disease that cause progressive scarring of the lung tissue and compromising respiratory function and blood oxygenation. Most common found is the idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Primary signs and symptoms of interstitial lung disease are dyspnea errors or prepared by dissection and dry cough, or it can present with complications such as pulmonary hypertension, copulmonary, and respiratory failure. There are many types of interstitial lung disease because it is a heterogeneous group of lung disorder. Generally, we can classify interstitial lung disease into three groups. The first one is exposure-related, and it includes drug-induced, occupation, and environmental causes. The second one is autoimmune-related, and the third is idiopathic. We are facing many problems due to COVID-19 infection, and the disease is caused by severe acute respiratory distress syndrome, coronavirus 2, SARS-CoV-2, and it is pandemic and compromised healthcare system around the world. COVID-19 impacts all aspects of care for patients with interstitial lung disease, including diagnosis process and management. Diagnosis of interstitial lung disease should be based on clinical, radiological, and pathological information, and this information should be used by face-to-face multidisciplinary discussion. The standard approach includes a history and physical examination, blood work, pulmonary function tests, imaging of the lungs, and invasive procedures such as bronchoscopy and surgical lung biopsy. In the aspects of diagnosis of interstitial lung disease, we should know some difference in clinical feature between interstitial lung disease and COVID-19. In risk factor, interstitial lung disease occurred in especially O8 or risk factor for interstitial ILD, and COVID-19 occurred in any age, especially contact with COVID-19 patient. There are many overlapping signs and symptoms between interstitial lung disease and COVID-19 infection. The main different point is onset of symptom, and most chronic interstitial lung disease present with gradual onset, and COVID-19 infection present with acute onset. But exception is present, some acute interstitial lung disease can present with acute onset. This slide shows the difference radiological feature between interstitial lung disease and COVID-19. Both disease can present with same distribution in radiological feature. Patchy consolidation, ground glass opacity, and extensive consolidation are present in interstitial lung disease. Similarly, COVID-19 can also present this pattern of radiological manifestation. The first different point in radiological feature is onychomic interaction to disease. Because it is common in chronic interstitial lung disease, but it is a rare finding in COVID-19 infection. This is the first difference point. The second different point is resolution after treatment. Most interstitial lung disease are slow or absent in resolution. But COVID-19 infection occurs rapid resolution after 2 weeks. But exception is present. Some acute interstitial lung disease, in some acute interstitial lung disease, resolution can be occur after immunosuppressive treatment. This is the CT imaging of the COVID-19 infection. CT imaging can be classified into 5 groups. The first, ultra early state, rapid progression state, consolidation state, and exhibition state. In the first two early stage, ground glass opacification is the most common finding. The third, fourth stage, consolidation is the most common finding. In the final anticipation state, extensive fibrosis is the common finding. This slide shows the radiological imaging of acute interstitial lung disease. In the left small image are in radiological feature for acute interstitial pneumonia, and the right one is cryptogenic organizing pneumonia. Both disease present with ground glass opacification and extensive consolidation. And these features are common in COVID-19 infection. The ground glass opacification is more common in AIP and consolidation is more common in cryogenic organizing pneumonia. And these two diseases can be mistaken as acute COVID-19 infection. This chest imaging of chronic interstitial lung disease, unlike acute interstitial lung disease, there are much different radiological features from COVID-19 infection. In this image, we can see honeycomb appearance and extensive fibrosis as well in the lungs. These features are rare in acute COVID-19 infection. During COVID-19 pandemics, there are many reasons for delay in diagnosis of ILD, including avoid necessary contact and reduce access to diagnosis tests. Furthermore, many investigations are postponed because of increased risk of infection, including pulmonary function tests, bronchoscopy, and surgical lung biopsy. After discussing about the diagnosis of interstitial lung disease, part are discussed about management of interstitial lung disease in COVID era. Before management, we can categorize the patient into 4 groups. The first is newly diagnosed interstitial lung disease. The second is who already received interstitial lung disease therapy, and the third is interstitial lung disease who was infected by COVID-19 infection, and the fourth is post-ARDS COVID-19 interstitial lung disease. Pharmacological, non-pharmacological, and monitoring of treatments are options we should take before management. In pharmacological therapy, there are limited data on the impact of immunomodulating medication. In patients with immunomodulating medication, common respiratory virus can result in more severe disease. But past coronavirus outbreak started in 2002 and July in 2013 did not show increased risk of severe illness. And similarly, COVID-19 infection, immunomodulating medication did not show increased risk of severity of infection. But exception is present. In patients with corticosteroid therapy, more severe COVID-19 infection may be occurred. In antifibrotic medication, there is no evidence for increased severity of COVID-19. But overlap between adverse effects of this medication and symptoms of COVID-19 can be confirmed early identification and lead to work manifestation of COVID-19. The first patient group, newly diagnosed interstitial lung disease, we should use balanced approach for immunomodulating medication. In progressive disease, there is reasonable to use therapy, but limit the use of corticosteroid and prioritizing steroid-sparing therapy. No data to guide dosing for this drug. The second patient group, patient already receiving ILD therapy. Early or rapid development of therapy can cause flare of the underlying disease and increased chance of aggressive immunosuppressive therapy and increased hospitalization rate. So the most appropriate option is to maintain the lowest dose of therapy and prioritizing steroid-sparing medication. In monitoring of pharmacological therapy, we should emphasize to decrease monitoring frequency to minimize patient contact with the healthcare system. If we see incidental detection of lymphopenia during monitoring, we should take 2 factors, whether it is acute phase of COVID-19 infection or whether it is side effect for immunomodulating therapy. Routine pulmonary function tests for the purpose of monitoring are not justified because increased risk of infection. To continue exercise, smoking cessation, supplements or whole oxygen, and to maintain social support are non-pharmacological therapy. The third patient group, patient with interstitial lung disease who was infected by COVID-19. Before management, we should emphasize on role of steroid, COVID-19 and ILD therapy, other medication, anticoagulant, and mechanical ventilation. Steroid should be applied in early cases because it increases higher plasma load and delay viral clearance. But steroid can be considered in present or ongoing inflammatory finding. In patient with COVID-19 infection, ID therapy can cause delayed viral clearance, secondary infection, and drug interaction. Temporary discontinue of these drugs should be considered. Other medications such as hydroxychloroquine, IV immunoglobulin, tocilizumab, MDC-VAS are certain usefulness. Anticoagulants drugs should be considered because increase of coagulopathy. Mechanical ventilation, low lamp volume and pressure are treatments or choice. But sometimes mechanical ventilation may not be appropriate because resources are limited. There is relatively high mortality in interstitial lung disease with severe COVID-19 infection. So decision of mechanical ventilation should be made by clinician and family member. Duration of illness is closely related to chance of post-COVID interstitial lung disease. Post-COVID interstitial lung disease can present with peripheral or diffuse distribution, and the more common radiological pattern is organizing pneumonia pattern and non-specific interstitial pneumonia pattern, usual interstitial pneumonia pattern, and overpage UIP. In organ, 25% is complete recovery from their initial illness, and more than 30% is show improvement. 25% is stable disease, and 30% is progressive and respiratory failure. The main difference of post-COVID fibrosis and pulmonary fibrosis in interstitial lung disease are post-COVID fibrosis is not progressive, but it may be severe and limiting. The recovery period is approximately 1 year. But in pulmonary fibrosis in interstitial lung disease, it is generally progressive and follow their specific disease natural history. For research priority of interstitial lung disease during the COVID-19 pandemic, we should focus on the following topic. The impact of COVID-19 infection, impact for COVID-19 in interstitial lung disease, and impact for interstitial lung disease mitigation in COVID-19. The finest and interesting topic is biology of COVID-19 and interstitial lung disease. Several IVF therapy may be used to treat COVID-19 infection or deficiency of ACE2 receptor in idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, and maybe a protective factor in COVID-19 infection. Today's topic, I want to share with you some information about interstitial lung disease and COVID-19. COVID-19 interstitial lung disease has similar clinical radiological pattern, so sometimes diagnosis is very difficult. Before management of interstitial lung disease, we should categorize into patient groups and treat accordingly to the patient group. Furthermore, we need more information and data to successfully treat this specific condition, especially post-COVID fibrosis. Thank you for your kind attention.